Alright guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Microsoft drop, the gold and silver collapse, and also Donald Trump's pick for the Fed chairman. So let's start off with Microsoft. Why is the stock down so much? At one point, Microsoft was down a staggering 12%, right? For a mega cap stock like that, it's quite insane, right? And it's because they came out with the backlog, and basically OpenAI is like 45% of Microsoft Azure's backlog, right? And despite that, actually the Azure cloud grew slower than analyst estimates, right? So I think it's a combination of these two factors, right? That coupled with the fact that maybe markets had bigger expectations, right? It's always very hard to pin down one specific point as to why the stock dropped so much. News articles will always tell you it's because of this one specific factor, but we won't know, right? Because it's always a mix of all the factors, right? But when we take a look at Microsoft, actually it's been flat for nearly 2 years, right? That's quite insane for a mega cap stock growing revenue at like 10, 15, or 20% in the past, right? So what are my personal opinions on Microsoft? Am I buying? Am I selling? I don't own any Microsoft stock, so I can't sell. And I'm not going to sell short great companies like Microsoft. Which leads to the second question, which is, am I going to buy Microsoft stock, right? And the answer is still no, right? Because this is a mega cap company. There's a lot of analysts looking over it. So until it's down a lot more than this, only I'll consider, right? You can see on the top line of it is like 3.2 trillion market cap, sorry, at 30 PE, right? So nothing very exciting for me, right? So am I saying Microsoft is a bad stock or whatever it is? No, I think it's a fantastic stock. It's just that for my personal preference, I don't look at like mega caps, right? Because there's too much analysts and also the prices are always quite high for it, right? So we move on to our second topic, which is gold and silver, right? Gold and silver actually fell like 8% and 12% respectively in the matter of like 1-2 hours, right? I was actually there watching the chart. I even have a Instagram story that I posted with the chart and stuff like that, right? And then the Nasdaq was also down 2.5% yesterday. So trillions of dollars vanished from metals and equities within the last hour. And when you see moves like this for gold and silver, you know you're at least like close to the top, or if not, you're at the top, right? So I'm hesitant to say whether it's a local top or a long-term top, right? That part I do not know, right? But I know that we are roughly at one of the peaks, right? So maybe it's another 20 to 30% correction before we go on another 500, 200, 300% rally, right? Who knows, right? I'm not going to try to say that I have insight to that, but the insight that I do have is that gold and silver are actually looking very weak if you look at the price action this past week, right? Silver has not only gone down 10% plus in like one day, not once but twice already, right? So just in a span of 1 week, right, silver has already done that twice, right? So the volatility is quite insane. So if you're trading all these metals, do manage your risk accordingly, right? Don't think that you know, it's a large market cap, it won't move a lot, right? But you can see clearly the trading frenzy has taken over these assets. So it's not all based on fundamentals, right? Don't read an article saying, oh, the solar panels are going to take up all the silver demand, that's why silver is going up, right? You can see clearly the solar panels are not taking all the demand if it goes down 12% in the span of 1 hour. And from this guy's personal experience, he was also having friends asking him, should I take out a loan to buy gold and stuff like that, right? And this is something that I'm also like hearing a lot, right, from personal friends, right? Maybe they're not going so insane as to like take out loans, but a lot of people that are newer to financial markets asking about silver, gold, as well as should they be buying. So I'm not bagging on them, right? Because this is our first experience with markets, right? If anyone has entered markets or whatever it is, we see asset running up a lot, and then we think that's what all markets are about, right? Get in quick and then get out quick and make the quick money, right? Maybe we can make 10% in a day in silver or something like that. That's very exciting, right? But the real money is made in the 200% rally that silver had since April, or in the 100% rally that gold had since like 1-2 years ago, right? So next I want to talk about Trump's announcement for Fed chair, as well as how to make money on this like prediction markets or poly market and stuff like that, right? And why it's getting much harder, right? So just today Trump was talking to reporters and he said that he's going to announce his Fed chair on Friday morning, right? Which is a few hours from now, or maybe like 12-13 hours from now, right? So he was speaking at Melania, the film about the first lady, right? Which is quite sad, right? Because Trump is definitely outshining her, talking about politics and stuff like that during her opening, right? And according to the numbers, the opening kind of flopped, right? So he's using it as a press conference, right? So he said, I'll be announcing the Fed chair tomorrow morning. And who does Poly Market think this fat chair will be? And the answer is Kevin Walsh, right? And I just want to speak about this very briefly because it's quite interesting what happened, right? When you take a look at Rick Ryder, right? Rick Ryder is a CIO for BlackRock, right? You can see that his odds went from like, I think 2% or 1% to like 30%, and then in a matter of minutes, right, it just went down to like 8% or something like that, right? So anyone that bought here, they are in big losses, right? So my point that I want to bring up now, right, is that there is fake insider trading, right? So poly market is going to get harder and harder, and there's going to be much more mental warfare and stuff like that, right? Because at this point, maybe some people knew that it was already going to be Kevin Walsh, right? But then they need to buy more claims, right? And they want to make more money on this because the liquidity is not great on poly market, right? So what they could have done is they could have pushed Rick Ryder's percentage, right, on purpose, right? They keep buying the claims, so making the market think that Rick Ryder is all the smart money is betting on Rick Ryder. He's going to be the next fat chair, right? And not only do they push Rick Ryder's percentage from 1%, which is basically no chance, to like 50%, right, which is like a coin flip, right? So they can use this and they can sell the claims as well, right? And they make like 50 times their money, as well as they already know like who's going to be the Fed chairman. Because you have to know that all this, there is talk, there is people who have some sort of edge, right? Because there are people working in the government that are thinking about all these things and talking about all these things. So Trump might have let it slip, or this might be Trump's person, you also don't know, right? So my point is, don't just think just because the odds are moving in one direction, it's a sure thing, right? Because you can see here, maybe some people say, oh, I want to buy more claims, but you know, I'm not managing to get it. So they push the odds down, and then they're buying here all the way here. And today when it's announced, basically this shooting up of the odds was just one reporter saying that I'm close to the Trump family and all the politics, and from what I'm hearing is Kevin Walsh, right? For all we know, tomorrow is going to be Rick Ryder, right? And then this 8 cents goes to 100 cents and people make bank off this, right? But from Trump signaling and all, it's also likely that it's going to be Kevin Walsh, because he said, I'm not going to surprise people too much, right? And I think that's one cue to say that he's going back with the original picks, right? So yeah, if you're trading or predicting on this poly market or whatever, right, you do need to be more careful now, right? Because the game is getting harder, right? Because from those times that you see that, oh, someone just like smashed by Venezuela is going to get raided or something like that. They basically make like 10x their money within a span of like 2 hours or something crazy like that, right? From those times, people have realized that, oh, you can make a lot of money in poly market, and the markets are very inefficient here, right? So this is part of poly market becoming smarter money and also more sharp. You need to have more edge to make money, right? If not, you're going to be one of the people that are taken advantage of, and they will make money off you, right? So yeah, that's about all I wanted to share today. If you did enjoy the video, do help me smash up the like button, hit subscribe, and also hit the bell button. With that being said, have a fantastic day ahead, and peace out.